Valorant sucks, and here's why. Who in the world made this game? Like, I would play every other game out there. I played all these other champion shooters and played whatever you want to call these, PvP. What the fuck are these even? Like Overwatch and all this stuff. I just call them champion shooters. But I played most of them and really didn't have any like bad ideas about any of them. I've tried them and I like them. And I'll be like, oh, that's cool. That's a cool game. Let me try this one. I can't remember the few that did fail, because there was a few that failed. But Overwatch, you know what? I had my likes about it. Paladins I had my likes about it. Stuff like Anthem, that's a battle royale, but it's anything with like classes and stuff where you have to like pick somebody with abilities and all that and be on a team, any team shooter, whereas it's paramount that you play as a team. Any of those things, I usually don't have anything bad about to say, because they seem pretty balanced. What's the other one? Rogue Company. I hate Rogue Company, but I don't hate it because of you know how it's made. It's actually a good game. I just hated it because of how I was able to play and I sucked and I was trash. I was like, I hate this game. And that's usually why I hate a game because I suck at it and I don't have anything bad about it. Watch videos about it. I'd watch people play it. And I mean, it seemed interesting just because I saw the abilities and the team play and all of that. But then I played it and I'm wondering who the hell made this? Like, who thinks that this game is fun? Like, I played it and no, I mean, yes, it's my first time playing it, like whatever. But I've played so many other shooters, like I usually know right then, my first time playing it if I'm going to keep playing it. And this game was just like trash for no reason. First of all, the thing that doesn't make sense most in this game is the whole buying buying your own abilities. You have to buy your ability that you use. Each person has different abilities. You have to buy them at the beginning of each match, which is stupid. Because I mean, it's not stupid because Rogue Company does that, but it makes you buy weapons, not abilities. You can buy your weapons and level up your abilities at each one. So this is a lot like Rogue Company. But the thing that sucks is when you die, you have to buy all of this shit again. I mean, you still have some of the stuff, but if you like use it and then you die, you got to buy the shit again. I guess apparently if you keep your gun for the next round, then you still have that gun. But if I like use my jump ability, or use my blinding ability, I gotta buy that again the next round. Are you serious? Champion shooters where each person has certain abilities that I can actually use. This game is just extra for no reason. Secondly, the time to kill in this game is outrageous. You don't even need a big gun. You don't need a strong gun. You don't need a heavy gun. It doesn't matter what kind of gun you have in this game. All that matters is, whoever gets a headshot first. Because they explain that, hey, leg shots and body shots don't do as much damage. They explain that in the tutorial. You're like, okay, obviously. But what? Does everybody get headshots in this game? Because you can get 5 body shots off on somebody and they won't die. And then they'll get, I guess, one headshot on you and then bam, you're dead. And you're just wondering, like, what? The time to kill is so short and they know this. So you go through like 15, 20 rounds. Like you're just like the first to like 15 or something like that. There's so many rounds and each round is like, no, 30 seconds. Each round is like less than a minute. That's not fun at all. You just go in, plant a spike, win. Or you go in, everybody dies, you lose, and you back at another round. And it's you just go through so many fucking rounds and you don't even get to really put out any bullets, because just everybody dies so quick. So it's just pop, 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 done. Pop, 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 dead. And it just makes no sense, man. I don't understand what they think, people want in one of these games. People want to shoot. Let me shoot. I want to shoot somebody. I'm not even complaining about, getting shot that much. I understand how games work. If somebody gets the one up on me. If somebody gets to me first, okay, whatever, so be it. They got to me first. There's nothing wrong with that. But geez, like I don't get to really even shoot anybody because I'm just like if I see somebody shoot them, pop, 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 they're dead, and then I just keep moving, and then the round is over. It just makes no sense, man. It just makes no sense how quick and easy it is to kill people, and then they expect that to be fun because you get more rounds in. I guess I don't know. Like a lot of the stuff in the game is cool. The abilities are cool. The maps are huge, but you don't even get to explore the maps because the games are so quick. The rounds are so quick. You don't even get to utilize the whole map. You're just, on one side for a second. You go to one corner, go to that corner. And Rogue Company is a lot like that, but Rogue Company, you actually get to utilize the map. You actually get to, like, okay, if somebody's on one side of the map and they plant the bomb, you actually get to flank different sides and utilize every part of the map to get to the enemy and to run from the enemy and hide. And that's useful in some games like this with big maps like this, yes. Another thing is, with champion shooters, they usually have different classes, healer or damage or a tank or something like that. And this game is not really classed. It's just that everybody has different abilities, and like I don't know, it makes no sense because some people have a heal ability and some don't. So it's not really, I get it doesn't feel like a champion shooter. It doesn't feel like something how Overwatch or Paladins would be, where you would have a healer in every game, making sure people are alive, or you will have a tank taking most of the damage. You would have a damage character or flank character who's moving around and getting behind the team. Like it doesn't feel like that. It feels like a mix between like Call of Duty and Rogue Company because it's just real quick. Go in, shoot, kill, go. Like you don't get healed. You don't heal up. I mean, it's a person in here that heals, but they heal themselves, and then they're able to revive you. That's it. They can revive somebody. But if I'm fighting somebody, if I'm fighting another team, especially if I'm going aggro, I want to be able to shoot and then like hide, get some cover, and have my teammate heal me so I can keep, stay in the fight. But that doesn't happen in this game. In this game, you shot and you die. Like at first when I played and I died, I was like, oh, there's no respawn, and I didn't complain about that. I was like, that's cool. I'm cool with the rounds, last team standing type of stuff. Last player standing type of stuff. I'm cool with that. I'm not too picky, but if you, they missed out on a lot they could have done. And I mean, a lot of people play this game. A lot of people like this game. Um, I'm not used to so many, randoms being on voice chat in the game. And this game had like everybody on voice chat, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Everybody was voice chatting, everybody was communicating. You know, the reviews I have or the gameplay I did watch on this game, people were talking about it being more strategic and more about strategy. And that's what went into it thinking. I didn't think it was a run and gun and jump around with your abilities type of game. I thought, it was a strategic game where you just happen to have abilities. And when I went into it like that, it's like, I mean, cool, because at the beginning of every round, everybody just like sets up where they think the other team is going to be, and then once the team is released, it's just pow 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 kill. Like all the kills are just that quick. It's like the strategy makes no sense. Having a strategy makes no sense. Setting up makes no sense because it's pointless. It doesn't last. The round doesn't last at all, and you just keep going over and over again doing the same 30-second, 1 minute long rounds, and then it gets kind of boring, man. Actually, it gets very boring. Another issue I had with this game, personally, is that they don't have any controller support. And I would say I understand that, but I don't understand that. How do you have a game? You have a video game with no controller support. That makes no sense. Even Shadowgun War games on mobile has controller support. Even the games on Steam, if you have a game and you download it on Steam and it's a PC game, it has controller support. You can map the buttons to the controller. But Valorant, just said, nah, nope, we're not going to let you use the controller at all. And I mean, it's not the worst thing, but for me, it's the worst thing because I want the option to be able to use controller. And the way the buttons are set up in this game is so confusing to be able to move around and use your ability. You have so many abilities. You have, look at that, you have three different abilities to use. And then you have like the active, I mean, you have the passive ability, but you have three different abilities to use. You have a sidearm, you have a primary weapon, and then you have a melee weapon, and you have to switch between all of those. There's no melee weapon button, to just slice somebody with your melee weapon. You have to switch to your melee. So with all of these buttons to press, which could be easily mapped to, LB, RB, could be easily mapped to directional pads and, just a lot simpler if you could be on controller. But they just don't allow it, and I don't understand. And it's the craziest thing. I mean, no, it wasn't even that bad because I was getting, I'm still getting used to playing on PC and playing keyboard and mouse. So I took it as okay, this is definitely something that I'll have to, learn to play if I want to be able to use keyboard and mouse. So I'm playing it and I'm looking just for how to use all my abilities, how to jump around and run and gun. And it's not that like you have to corner shoot on this game. You have to slowly walk, you know, and that's another point I'll get to. You have to slowly walk so that they don't hear you. You have to slowly walk to creep around the corner to see them before they see you. And it's unnecessary because that's one thing I didn't like about Rogue Company because it's not third. I mean, it's third person and it's over the shoulder. So in Rogue Company, that game is really a lot of, it's really easy just to peek around the corner and shoot everybody that shows up before they even see you. That's easy. But in this game, it's kind of the same, but just first person. The other thing I don't like about this game, man, is they put a big emphasis on walking slow. In the tutorial and in the training, it's a big emphasis on, hey, you got to walk slow so the other team doesn't hear you. You gotta creep, you know. So I'm thinking that okay, during the game, I'll be able to hear my enemy's footsteps or something over everything else, and that'll be, the telltale sign of where my enemy is. But no, that's not the case. In this game, you hear everybody's footsteps. Everybody's footsteps. Your teammates, loud footsteps in your ear. And so you have to like tell your teammates, hey, walk. Like that's actually a command in there. Like, oh, be stealthy. Hey, everybody gotta walk. So that you can hear the other team who may or may not be running. They might be crouching and walking stealthy too. Yeah, it just makes no sense, man. I don't understand why you would put so much emphasis on listening for your enemy's footsteps. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense, man, for a game to put so much emphasis on crouching and moving slow like stealth is a thing or something in this game, and it's not. Stealth is not a game. There's no invisibility. There's really nobody that can like really flank around anybody, so it's pointless to just it's pointless to crouch and walk slow. But you'll see that's what mostly everybody does at the beginning of the round. They'll just get to a spot and where they know the team might be coming from, and they'll get there, and then they'll crouch, and then they'll just walk. So it's really about who hears who first. So if you hear that person first, and then yeah, you got them because you hear their footsteps, you hear where they're coming from. But at the same time, like I said, you hear your teammates' footsteps so much more because they're around you. So you're just trying to distinguish, oh man, who is who? Whose footsteps are where. The game is not a run and gun game, and I'm not, the best at run and gun games. I suck at Apex. I suck at Call of Duty. I suck at these run and gun, fast paced games. But this game is such a mixture of those type of games and mixed with more strategy, more team based shooters that it's really hard to not want to run and gun. They give you so many different options for weapons. They give you so many different abilities, especially movement abilities, and then they expect you to just creep and just not, jump and want to fly and jump everywhere. With all these abilities, that's what you want to do. You want to jump, you want to fly, you want to dash forward, you want to use your ability to blind the other team. You want to use your ability to float mid-air and take out, one or two people at once. But this you can't do that in this game because once somebody sees you, it only takes two shots for them to kill you. If they see you and they get a headshot on you, they win that fight. Even if you see them first, games like Call of Duty have always been a game that I didn't like, where I could see somebody, come up behind them, put in 5 shots, put half a clip into them, and they turn around and just shoot you twice and you're dead. But that's Call of Duty. That's always been Call of Duty, and that's something you can't really complain about if you play Call of Duty, because that's just how Call of Duty has been known to be for forever. If you play Call of Duty, you know that you have to, kill somebody when you see them. You have to get those shots off before they turn around. Because if you don't get those shots off and they turn around and shoot you, they're most likely to, to win that fight, even though you started shooting them first. That's just a Call of Duty thing. And in games like Apex, where they have shielding and all of that, this game has some semblance of shielding, but it's stupid. Like you only get to buy, heavy shield, light shield. That's it. You can't double up. You can't have more shields. You just get you just choose between two different shields. Games like Apex, where you can regenerate your shield and you can you can catch somebody who may be low shield, and then if they're lower shield, they still can win that fight. Just because they have low shield doesn't mean they're going to automatically lose the fight. In Apex, they can have low shield, full health, and still win the fight against somebody with full shield just because how they maneuver. Or they can have low health and full shield and still win the fight. But Valorant it just makes no sense. None of it makes any sense. The more I played it, the less sense it made. I thought the more I played it, the more I would like it and the more I would learn and be able to use the abilities in different ways. But no, it's really just the same thing over and over and over. And it's just whoever has, the abilities work like, or whoever gets caught in the ability first, or whoever catches the other team off guard first wins. There's no turnaround shooting in this game like Call of Duty. You don't have that turnaround ability. If somebody comes up behind you and shoots you once or twice, you get the indicator that somebody's shooting you. You have no time to turn around. You have no time to do anything. The time to kill is just that quick. If you don't see someone when they're shooting at you, is that's it. You're dead. Any other shooter game, somebody can shoot you once or twice. You have time to get behind cover. You have time to use your abilities to avoid them. But no, in this game, once somebody is shooting you, you're dead. That's it. Once somebody sees you and they're shooting you first, that's it. The other thing in this game, whenever you have an ultimate, the ultimate is, for one, the ultimate doesn't go between rounds. The ultimate is something that you just use as a weapon or use as an ability, and it doesn't really feel like an ultimate because sometimes you can pop your ultimate and then not even get to use it. I understand that from playing Paladins, that's understandable, but it's times where you pop your ultimate in Paladins and die before it does anything, and then you get your ultimate back. But this game, you have an ultimate, it goes away between rounds without you even having to use it. So you'll have an ultimate at the end of a round, and then at the beginning of a round, not have an ultimate. Well, that's just what I saw on a few matches, and I tried to check my recordings to see if I was tripping or not, but I saw in one of my recordings that I took of Valorant that I had an ultimate at the end of the game, at the end of the match, and I didn't use it. And then at the beginning of the next round, no ultimate. But that's another thing about this game. Ultimates don't feel like ultimates. They feel like just another ability, just another weapon in this game. And there's so many abilities and weapons in this game. The ultimates don't feel ultimate. Okay. They don't feel overpowered. Ultimates are supposed to be overpowered. If you have an ultimate, it's supposed to be able to kill one person right away, or it's supposed to be able to take the health down of, a whole team so that the rest of your team can finish them, or it's supposed to give a boost to your whole team. That's what an ultimate is supposed to be. Any game that has an ultimate, it feels like an ultimate. Overwatch, their ultimates feel like an ultimate. Ultimates are supposed to be powerful. Whenever you do an ultimate, it's supposed to feel ultimate. It's supposed to feel overpowered. Is not supposed to feel like just another ability. It's not supposed to feel like just another weapon. But that's how this game makes ultimates feel. They make ultimates feel not ultimate at all. I will say that the matchmaking in this game doesn't seem too far off in skill, and you can't even really tell how skilled people are in this game because of how cheesy and how cheap it is. Me playing my first game being level 1, level 0 with all of the different champions, characters, whatever you call them in this, me being level 0, I was getting, double kills and I was killing people before they saw me. And you can see people's levels before the match starts. And they were level, 15, 20. So you would think, okay, these people have had more time playing with them, so they're going to be better than I am. But that wasn't the case. Really, I was really doing some work when I was able to. And I'm not saying that I was good or nothing, or I was better than anyone, but no, it felt even. Most games don't feel even. Most games feel one-sided most of the time, especially if you're new and you're trying to learn, and the matchmaking puts you with somebody who has 100 hours versus you only having 1 hour. So I will say that's one thing that's good about this game is that it feels even. It feels like it's not hard to have an even set match. It doesn't feel hard to have an even set match. A lot of times you go one for one match, one for one round. Um, a lot of times you go and win 3, 4 rounds, and then the other team will come and win, 4 or 5 rounds back to back. So it's pretty even in that regard. But if you ask me, if I was a hardcore Valorant player, I would be mad at that because I would be mad at the fact that somebody can just pick up the game and then come in and get a double, triple kill on me just because they saw me first, just because they got, a headshot after I got, 3, 4, 5 body shots. That would really piss me off if I was really serious about this game. If I saw somebody that was obviously on their first time playing, and I had been playing this game for 100 hours, and I was just getting killed by this person because they were getting lucky enough to get the shot first, then yeah, that would piss me off. And it's really, I understand that the more you play a game, the better you get, but I don't feel like this game is worth playing more because I don't feel like there's any skill to gain from playing more. It's really just going to be who's sitting at the right spot and who sees who first, and that's really it. You gain nothing from leveling up. You gain nothing from playing more. and it really just doesn't make sense because it feels lucky. A lot of the game feels just lucky. One of my final rants about the game, um, I'd say the gun selection. They try to make it seem diverse and like, oh, you have all of these different guns to choose from, and this one is better than that one, and you know, this one is more useful, but it's really not because what I see is people using the more single shot guns, the more single shot weapons, and what they'll do with those is just, try to get that headshot first. Also, as you see there, from whenever you use an ability, it takes away your gun. So you can't use an ability and shoot at the same time. They have to do a whole animation just for them to use an ability, and that takes away your gun. Because I guess they think you're using abilities in this game for positioning, and that's what you're supposed to do. They don't think you're using the abilities to actually fight. Trying to use the abilities to actually fight is not helpful because it takes away your gun and you can't really do anything. Yeah, this game is more annoying than anything. Even when you're having good games, it's annoying. And you see here, that's a perfect example. And the guy was on my team and he was screaming out. He was like, "Oh, that guy's hacking. He's got to be hacking. I just shot him so many times and he didn't die. What was protecting him?" And I mean, this other guy's been playing this game longer than me, obviously. In my eyes, I didn't see anything protecting that guy just now. I didn't see, he had a spike down, and that spike is something I'll talk about. That's just like a detonator or whatever. He had that down, but I didn't see anything about those protecting anybody or having any shield on them or whatever. But that guy he got shot so many times and he was standing by the spike and he didn't die. And my teammate was really mad about that. He was like a younger guy, but he was really mad. He was like, "Oh, he's got to be hacking. He's got to be doing something. There was nothing there to protect him." And I was like, "Yeah, guy, that looks like that's what this game is about. So I don't know. It just seems like this game is unnecessary. It seems like I was so excited to try this game. I was so excited to get in on this game after getting my PC, and I had watched so much gameplay of it, and it looked a lot different from when other people play. I mean, it looked like, okay, strategic. It looked like what I thought it would be. Just somebody wants to do some strategy or something like, okay, that's a little different than Overwatch. It's different than Paladins. It's different than Shadowgun war games. It's different. I was down for it. But then I played it and I saw that the strategy that people use is just to creep and corner shoot. And then even the people with big guns, they still try to, hug walls and, peek around corners. That's the strategy used in this game. Is really no actual strategy in this game. It's just cheesy strategy, stuff that only works in like Counter Strike, CS:GO. That's the only thing I can think about, to compare this to. And I think that's why people like it because it's close to something like CS:GO is not as much run and gun because CS:GO can be run and gun, but still the same in CS:GO. If you get caught lacking, yeah, you're dead. You can't really get off any shots after you've been shot, and that's kind of how this game is. And I think that's the route they're wanting to go, but at the same time with all the different abilities and like six different buttons you need to be able to press to switch between your abilities and your guns, it just makes no sense. The last thing I'll complain about, and then I'm done. I guess the mode this is, and I didn't even, honestly, I didn't even see if there was more than one mode in this game, but this is all I've seen. of this game. And this is what the tutorial showed, is that, hey, you got the spike, somebody has to pick it up and you go plant it. And like at the beginning of every round, one of your teammates or you will pick up the spike and go plant it. And then the spike detonates actually pretty quickly, and you can't destroy it, or you could kill the whole other team but get to the spike and still not detonate it quick enough. And that's kind of annoying because even in this video of me playing, there were times where we killed the whole team, but that team had already planted the spike. And what they'll do, they'll plant the spike and then they'll run out to where everybody else is to try to keep you from getting to the spike, which you would think is a cool strategy, but they're really just kamikaze. Like that's all they're doing. They're not trying to get any kills or anything or kill you. They're just trying to keep you from reaching the spike with enough time to detonate it. So they could go plant the spike and then run out and start fighting, and then their whole team is dead, but that spike still detonates. And it's stupid because you can get to the spike in time. You can get to the spike after you've killed their whole team and start detonating it. And then it's pointless because then it just blows up and you've killed everybody, but you still lose, and you really don't get any kind of like gratification from it, from killing a whole team, or your whole team is still alive and their whole team is dead, but you've gotten nothing from it. So yeah, man. To conclude things, Valorant is stupid. Is not a fun game. It's more tedious and annoying than fun. The people who think this game is fun are those people who who still take CS:GO seriously, or those people who only snipe in Apex Legends, or who only snipe in Call of Duty. Those are the type of people that like these games, or they're like this game, likes Valorant. Because Valorant is really slow paced. They try to make it seem fast paced with the short matches and the multiple matches. They try to make it seem fast paced, but it's not fast paced at all. It's really slow paced for short periods of time. It's too many buttons to press on this game. Too many buttons. There's no controller support, which would help so much with the amount of buttons and abilities you have to press. Having a controller would be perfect, just because of how you hold your hands on a controller versus having your left hand on a keyboard and having so many buttons to press with just one hand. And I'm still learning how to play keyboard and mouse, so I'm not the best at keyboard and mouse. But it's not about that though. It's just about the fact that there's too much going on for a game that wants you to be stealthy and wants you to not run and gun and jump. So it just makes no sense, man. I'll maybe try it again later, but for now, nah, I'm good, man.
Yeah.